Hey YouTube, this is your man Rio 855. Yes, and I'm coming with another video, and this is part 2 of Michael Jackson and Prince, God-Given Talent. Yes, part 1, I started off with the 1958 year where they was born. Both born in the same year, one in June, that's Prince, one in August, that's Michael Jackson. Yeah, and we went all the way to 1979, the year where they connected, where Prince had his album Prince and Michael Jackson was Off the Wall. Yeah, so we're gonna start right there. They was in the midst of both of their hit albums, platinum albums. Let's start with Michael again. Michael had Off the Wall, and he was releasing the second single, Rock With You. Big hit for him, a #1, and the album took off. Already platinum, and the album sold over 8 million in the United States alone, over 20 million worldwide. Mike was putting up the big numbers, and he had a big, huge album and a lot of success. I'm not going to strive into the accolades and the numbers game. Like I said, this is God-given talent. Off the Wall was something huge. Everybody know that's in the hood. This is the album. This is my favorite Michael Jackson album, Off the Wall. And what can you say about it? The songs on there, whether it is the #1 hit Rock With You, Can't Stop Till You Get Enough, Working, You Got Me Working Day and Night. It's just huge. And She's Out of My Life. It's huge success. So many great songs on this. One of my favorite songs was Girlfriend, a song written by Paul McCartney. And you can go on and on with this album. I Can't Help It, Stevie Wonder pen song, produced. And Mike just a raw talent, great entertainer. And at that time he had that drive. In the 80s, it was kicking off in that era where it was the Reagan era, and you really had to cross over. A lot of black acts was crossing over to pop, and the music got kind of soft. It wasn't as raw, but Mike was in the midst. Off the Wall was funky and it was poppy at the same time. So that was in between. He had that knack of basically drawing people in from many different races, and a lot of urban artists was really pulling to get that crossover appeal, and Mike was one of them. So Off the Wall it blew up, and he was everywhere, and it was the beginning of Michael Mania. It was the beginning. Yeah, so let me go to my man Prince. Yes, Prince in 1980, he still was riding high with the Prince album, and I Want to Be Your Lover, and many other hits, Why You Want to Treat Me So Bad. Want to Be Your Lover was that #1 R&B hit and a top 20 pop hit, and got Prince some national attention, and it was the infamous American Bandstand interview where he just gave Dick Clark the silent treatment, and that propelled him to the mysterious figure that he was. And we can go on and on with what was happening. And so this was the beginning. Prince had a platinum album with Prince. So Prince released his third album, Dirty Mind. a game changer. He went all the way underground. Prince was basically trying to connect with the new wave audience, punk, and he pulled one out this time. He totally from the brain. Yeah, Prince left. Dirty Mind was the lead album. It was almost like an X-rated album, but it was a game changer because the sound was so funky and it was so on the edge of what no other black artist was doing, and Prince basically he just changed the game. The big singles was Uptown. I think that was a top 5 single, number 5 on the R&B charts. Really didn't make an impact on the pop, and you had Dirty Mind really wasn't what you call big hits, but this album didn't even go at the time. It was, I say, around 200,000-300,000. It didn't go until 1984. So Prince went going a different direction than what Michael did. So, but God-given talent, musically, Dirty Mind was it, man. You know, it was the album that now you look back, you say, wow. You know, you would say, wow, why this album wasn't as bigger than it was at that time. But he was doing something different. When you listen to the songs like When You Were Mine, When You Were Mine was something big. It was on another level, you know, with pop audience. That's the song they love from that album, When You Were Mine. And Prince, he nailed it. And you look at some of the songs like Do It All Night, Got a Broken Heart Again, with a bluesy feel, you know, Party Up, the infamous Head. But that album, you know, was that game changer. It really put Prince into that type of sex entity where he was known as the sexual deviant. But it was a great album, and it took him to another direction. He might have lost some fans on the way, that Prince album, but he gained a new audience, and he went right underground. So in 1981, Prince released his 4th album. He was always prolific, so that's the difference between him and Mike. Mike, more of a perfectionist. Prince is a workaholic, so he released albums at a faster pace. And when you look at Controversy, Controversy was on another level. It was a bit confusing to the mainstream audience, but the hardcore Prince fans supported it. Plus, it had the hit Controversy, top 3 R&B hit, and you had songs like Sexuality, and the one song that R&B audience loved was Do Me Baby. That really got him his hardcore fans, and the album went gold at the time, eventually going platinum, and eventually now to the date selling over 2 million copies. And it really solidified Prince as an R&B maverick. And you know, basically, hey, this is it. Prince is here to stay. Yeah. So now we get to the entwining of Prince and Michael. Michael released his infamous and greatest album of all time, Thriller. Yes. Everybody knows this, so I don't have to get into too much details, but I am going to discuss it. Thriller one of the greatest albums of all time. I'm not going to say greatest, but it's one of the greatest. And Mike nailed it. The production was good. The songs was good. It was a pop phenomenon. Personally, Off the Wall is my favorite Michael Jackson album, but at the time, Thriller was a hit. I remember having this album in the living room when we was young. Sister bought it in '82. The album was right there in the living room. It was always played. You couldn't stop playing it. Musically, it was a great album. But musically, you would look at it being equal as Off the Wall. And maybe you'll think, well, 10 million would be what this album would do. No, visually, the videos made this album. The videos, because before that, in '82, you had songs like Human Nature, that was out before the big three, as I call songs that came out in '83 to '84. So when you released Billie Jean, it was a game changer. Billie Jean was a hit even before the video. So you're talking about a song that spent 7-8 weeks at #1, and with the video, it just put them in another stratosphere. And the Motown 25 performance the album just took off. And then you had Beat It, the Eddie Van Halen guitar riff that put them in another stratosphere. Another #1 really was a pop hit. And Thriller, those three videos just killed MTV. It really just put MTV to orbit, and the album really just took off. And you talking about sales of 10 million, you talking about sales of 20 million at the time in the US, 40 million worldwide, and eventually to this date selling over 66 million worldwide, 33 in the States. So Mike was on another stratosphere, and at the time he didn't even tour. You're talking about a guy making over $70 million that year off the Thriller album, and he was on another level, in superstardom, and he was the greatest performer out there, greatest entertainer out there. And what can you say? That's God-given talent. So we move on to Prince, 1982. Prince released the infamous 1999 album. This was his breakthrough. Yes, this was his breakthrough. And you talking about 1999, the song. Wasn't a real big hit when it came out. It was a hit, but not a real big hit. You're talking about top 20 hit at the time. And the album grew on people. It was a double album. Prince released a double album. The songs was like, some of the songs on there was like 9 minutes. And you're talking about great song after great song. But it was really not until Little Red Corvette, that song put him in the mainstream. A top 10 hit, his first top 10 hit, and really gave him rotation on MTV. Little Red Corvette was more like Beat It. It had that pop feel, and it put Prince right there. So Prince went from playing theaters to arenas, and so you have another top 10 hit in Delirious. So the album was just taking off, and you talking about radio, they was playing all these songs on the radio almost, from Automatic, International Lover, DMSR, Dance Music Sex Romance. Let's Pretend We Married. Lady Cab Driver. I can go on and on with this album. It was huge. Eventually selling over 4 million copies. Probably to the date selling 6 million copies. You know, a platinum album in the US. You know, and I think it spent like 90 weeks on the charts. And you look at Mike having the best album of '83, and you're talking about 37 weeks at #1 for Thriller. And you know, this is what was going on. So when Mike in '84, he just killed the Grammys with, I think he had 8 Grammys. And like I said, with the accolades and everything, you know, is second nature right now to me. But I'm just talking about God-given talent. And these cats had God-given talent. We're gonna go into we're gonna stop right here at 1983 because I want to do a piece. I want to start it at 84 because I think that was the year that really changed the game. Even though at the beginning I just started with, you know, Mike and the Grammys. 84 was the beginning, but I'm gonna start right there. So this is Michael Jackson and Prince, God-Given Talent, Part 2. Stopping at 1984. January of 1984, we're gonna stop. So this is Rio 855, and you can comment, subscribe. I'm gonna leave you the words of peace. God bless, and thank you for listening.